So originally, we were going to make this the cold open for our review of Daredevil Born Again episodes 5 and 6. However, we decided that the folks who wanted to tune in and listen to that episode probably would not appreciate a 50-minute cold open of us talking about this. Hey, and you know what? Maybe these do play to people of the same interest. It's not like you can't listen to both of them. But we decided that this news was big enough that we were just going to break it out into its own little baby, a little baby episode, mini-sode, if you will.
It's a little shorty. It's on a little shorty.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, this has been like an unfolding thing like all day. And when it first started, actually the first thing that I saw of it was like earlier in the day, and it was just 2 chairs. And you guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll get there very shortly.
Yeah.
But it was just 2 chairs. And I thought, oh, okay, cool. That's interesting. You know, good enough for like, you know, a good 5-minute cold open.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. And then later on in the day, you sent me a link to like, the actual full cast. Well, not full, but a fuller cast.
It was like a constantly updating article.
Yeah. And as the list kept growing and growing, I was thinking, oh boy, this is going to be one hell of a cold open.
I had the Instagram feed pulled up because they were live on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And then like every 10, 15 minutes or whatever, they would do another reveal. And this I think started around noon. Mm-hmm. And nobody really knew how much they were going to put out. By the time this got to its peak on Instagram, there was like millions of people watching live. And let me just tell you, like, this is a great week for Marvel. Like, I don't know if you buy into the whole Marvel versus DC stuff or whatever, but Marvel is like 2016 Marvel this week. like they can do no wrong this week, you know. They put out 2 stellar episodes of Daredevil, and then they immediately followed it up with like this really like clever way to kind of roll through the Avengers Doomsday cast. And I mean, to anybody who thought that the MCU was dead, I mean, the hype is at least not, because this is the most excited that I've seen people about the MCU probably since Endgame.
Yes. Yeah. And you know, like the thing about the hype is that it stays for a while, but man, do you have to deliver.
Right.
Because I go back to like the end of 2021 when No Way Home was approaching, the hype was damn near peak.
Yeah.
But that movie delivered.
Right.
But then that hype continued on for Doctor Strange 2.
Ooh.
And while I do not think that it is a bad movie, it certainly didn't live up to what most people had in mind.
Yeah.
And so the hype did kind of hurt that movie, but at the same time, man, it's one thing to build up the hype and anticipation, but it's another thing to maintain that and then deliver, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it can help you or hurt you, right? Like, if you get the hype up to the point where, like, people are just aware that it exists, and you get them in the theater to go see it, and it's a good movie, you're fine. You're golden. But, like, if you hype up something extensively, you know, like, we've talked about this before, the whole thing where they came out and said that that No Way Home, or, well, WandaVision, No Way Home, and Multiverse of Madness were going to be like a trilogy of sorts. Mm-hmm. And we were like, oh, okay. And we were like, okay, any minute now, this is going to come together. And it just never did.
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't have any huge complaints about it. I have a lot of minor ones. But it just didn't live up to the hype. And I think that hurt it significantly. I think if the hype had not been at the level that it was, like if that movie came out like right now, people were like, oh yeah, great MCU movie, you know?
Yeah.
But it was on the hype train. So, yeah, the Russos have not let us down yet.
So there's been a lot of talk about the Russos recently as well. I don't particularly subscribe to this state of thinking, but I do understand why some people do. And that is, people have been saying basically that outside of the MCU, the Russos can't make a good movie. What do you think about that, and what do you think that means moving forward? Do you think they still have the mojo?
I mean, I thought that the movie that they did with Chadwick was good. 13 Bridges or whatever.
Yeah, 22 Bridges.
22 Bridges, yeah, whatever. A number of bridges.
A number of bridges. I thought that was good too.
Several bridges.
A bunch of bridges, yeah.
Yeah. Starring Chadwick Boseman. Several bridges. It sounds like some Rick and Morty the commercials or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever they were called. Not Morty's Mind Blowers, but
interdimensional cable.
That's it.
Yeah. Morty's Mind Blowers was in the same vein though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Several Bridges.
Several Bridges. Starring Chadwick Boseman and Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
You start naming a bunch of different bridges.
The Brooklyn Bridge.
The Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah. I could totally see that happening. But yeah, no, I thought that movie was pretty good. And apparently the movie that just came out that
Electric State.
Yeah, I actually have heard that audiences don't really hate it. Like the critics hated it, but apparently like the audience scores are like at least in the good range.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but
neither have
I know that from what I have seen, the visuals look pretty good in that. And it has like a giant weird Mr. Peanut. So
yeah.
If nothing else, they piqued my interest.
Yeah, I at least want to see it. I don't know, man. I think what's encouraging to me is that the Russos were actually originally approached to do this about 1.5 years ago. And they told Marvel to kick rocks. Because they were like, we don't have a story that we want to do.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, hey, do you want to do this? And they were like, all right, let us brainstorm it. And they did. And they didn't have a script that they wanted to do. So guess what? They didn't make it.
Yep.
Someone get David Zaslav on the phone.
Well, what if, hear me out here.
No, I don't really want to make another season of that. Unless it's going to be, the first episode is going to be, what if we didn't make seasons 2 and 3 of What If?
I don't think Uatu has found that multiverse yet. but what if instead the scenario was, Kevin Feige approached the Russos and he was like, look guys, we would really like for you guys to come back and do another Avengers movie. And they said, no, we don't really have anything that we like to do with that, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, but no thanks. And Feige was like, all right, fine. I didn't want to say this, guys, but listen, I got a lot of pressure right now. If you guys don't do it, they're going to get David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. And they were like, fuck. All right, man.
I was totally thinking you were going to be like, Kevin Feige was like, hey, do you guys want to make this? And they were like, listen, Kevin, we just really don't have an idea. He's like, how about for $100 million? And they were like, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah. Not just mention that I have a really good idea.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, one just came to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Just now, while we were talking.
Yeah, just this moment, we both have a great idea.
Yeah, it just popped into my head. When can we start? And hopefully that's not it.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in the whole thing. What's also interesting too is like, I think only Stephen McFeely came back. The other writer didn't, but both of the writers from Endgame and Infinity War worked on Electric State.
That is interesting. I didn't know that.
So I don't know, man. Maybe they're just really good at writing superhero movies.
Maybe.
In which case, just do that.
Yeah.
There's so much of like, I feel like especially in Hollywood where people don't want to be, and it's not just typecast because it's not just actors, but it's like people find something they're really good at and then all they want to do is other things. Mm-hmm. And like, I get that you don't want to be like slotted into that role, but you also don't want to be seen as like a failure,
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're really good at a thing and like your movies are making money and people like them, there's nothing wrong with just being really good at making that thing. Mm-hmm.
And, obviously at this very moment, Marvel doesn't need to think about this. Or maybe they do, but we don't. And that is, they're gonna have to find the next Russos.
Absolutely. And then, the other thing about that too is before we get into the list, we got another announcement today that slipped right under the radar is we got a date for Black Panther.
Oh, did we?
We did. Yeah, and it got buried in the avalanche of all the other news.
Yeah, I was not made aware of this.
Also, by the way, Marvel came out and said they are not finished revealing the Doomsday cast.
Oh, shit.
And there's more.
I like to imagine that they thought they were done, and then someone told them the homies are recording tonight, and they said, we got more than...
Yeah, we just got on the phone and hired some people. But yeah, Black Panther 3, February 2028. So that to me means it will be the first MCU film to follow Secret Wars.
Yeah.
That tells me we are going to get a new T'Challa in Secret Wars.
I think you might be on to something. Yeah. And obviously, throughout the course of this episode, we're going to be discussing, various plot theories based on the casting that we have so far. And because, the cast does say something, man. This is pretty big.
Yeah. You want to get to the list?
Let's go ahead and get to the list.
All right. They rolled this out. All right. So, obviously, the first name we got on the list for the Doomsday casting, Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself.
Thor is returning. Will this be his last outing, or do you think he makes it to Secret Wars?
You know exactly what the fuck I think. Listen, he's making it to Secret Wars, folks. He has to have the moment with Deadpool. It must take place. After that moment, all of Chris Hemsworth's plot armor is gone. He could die after that. I do, however, think that he doesn't want Love and Thunder to be the last Thor movie. I completely think that he would be up to do one more Thor movie with a competent director. He said as much.
He literally did say as much. I don't know how the phone call between him and Taika Waititi went after that, but...
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Do you think he bites it here? Do you think he makes it to Secret Wars? Do you think he makes it to a Thor 5?
Oh, man. This is where the multiverse shit gets wonky because all three of those things could happen.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna say this. I think that the number of stars in these Avengers movies is outrageous.
Doomsday will be his 9th feature film as Thor.
That's crazy.
It used to be only Hugh Jackman had them kind of digits.
Yeah. I'm going to say that he survives this. I don't know if Loki will.
I think if you end the multiverse, don't you kind of destroy Loki at this point?
You have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figure is going to happen here.
I was like, it's going to open with Doctor Doom killing Loki. I was like, the Russos just got to open all their movies.
Right, we're killing Loki. And they're going to find a way to do it again in Secret Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think that Thor survives this one. It's so interesting, right? Because looking at this cast here, what's the last Marvel movie we get before this? Is it Fantastic
Four? And then presently, with what we know about Black Panther, the only movie between the two of them that's currently on the schedule is Spidey 4.
Yeah.
That's between the Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yeah, and that would explain, I guess, Spider-Man's absence from Doomsday.
Now, it is possible... because they do still have a spot, a spot to put a movie in that hasn't officially been taken off the calendar. So at the beginning, a lot of speculation was that they were going to do Doctor Strange 3 in between these two movies as well.
Yep.
So no Peter and no Doctor Strange does kind of lend to that theory that instead of Spider-Man, Black Panther, it could be Spider-Man and then Doctor Strange, and then Black Panther is our first MCU movie after Endgame.
Yeah.
Or Secret Wars.
Yeah. That tracks to me. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. And, you know, like, I guess the thing now that has me way more cautiously optimistic than I have been for like the past 2 phases is it seems like Marvel has a plan. Whereas I don't think I could have said that, you know, 2020 through 2024 damn near.
Well, in 2020, we thought they had a plan.
Yeah, that's true.
we still thought they had one. And then they showed up without one. And now they at least seem to have concepts of a plan.
Yeah. So yeah, we both think that Hemsworth is going to survive this. Yeah. I guess I'm just trying to piece together. I'm trying to figure out exactly how or why all of these heroes come together. But I mean,
well, they go to camp in Baldur's Gate 3, and that's a crazy crossover.
That's a wild crossover.
never thought I'd see that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so clearly Doom has to show up at the end of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because he's got to be a multiversal threat, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like Fantastic Four is from one universe. Mm-hmm. Some of the other folks we're going to talk about in a bit are from a different one, and then we have our 616 folks.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
Vanessa Kirby, not a shock.
Yeah.
Sue Storm. Not going to bite it in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, right. What a surprise. And she's going to be in the movie with Dr. Doom.
Now, you know, before we go further, it's entirely possible that a lot of this is bullshit. Like, it's entirely possible that some of the Thunderbolts will die and they're just fucking with us.
It's possible, right? And I thought about that, right? Like, that did cross my mind. But then it's like, well, why do that? Because like if none of the Thunderbolts were in this movie, I wouldn't think that they all died in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting that you put them in here though, like whether they're bullshitting or it's like Thunderbolts is going to be a big deal and like these characters are going to be a big thing. And I think Thunderbolts asterisk really lends to the concept that it's going to be Dark Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be onto something, man. And I'll be honest, like if that comes true, you're like the only person I know who called that.
Well, you know what? I am a really good co-host. Damn, man, how the fuck did you call that? I'm a really good co-host. Yeah.
Trying to find out you had Kevin Feige's number the whole time.
I literally said I did
the whole time.
Bunch of times.
I didn't believe you, and you knew it
the whole time. The whole time. No, if I had Kevin Feige's number, it'd be about like his text with Iman Vellani. I would just be like, dog, you know that, like, hey, can you tell these critics to shut the fuck up and that in Born Again, Charlie Cox doesn't have the suit. Well, you know, Matt Murdock doesn't have the suit for a long time.
Please. Oh, man.
By the way, spoilers for the list. Charlie Cox is not on it, and we're not thrilled about that at all.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, maybe his chairs is, you know, coming later on.
Yeah, that or like they're gonna do like No Way Home and he's just in the movie, you know.
He's just in there as a really good lawyer.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I disagree because I feel like if he was gonna be in it, they would have said so because he was in fucking Echo for about 8 seconds,
and they were like, "Hey guys, Daredevil's in this."
Yeah.
Check out this other trailer with Daredevil.
Yeah, they're like, the man with no fear, Daredevil. Also, Echo is in this show.
They really wanted people to watch Echo.
So, yeah, Sue Storm doesn't die in First Steps.
Yeah. Surprise. At first, I was a little taken aback, not because she's in it, but because at the time, I didn't see any of the other Fantastic Four members.
So it's just like, listen, a lot of shit's going to go down. It's only Thor and Sue Storm versus Dr. Doom. Like, bruh, Fantastic Four and Thunderbolt's about to be wild.
Right.
Anthony Mackie, not a shock.
Not a shock at all.
Captain America is going to be in this.
Yep.
This will also, and now this is a crazy number, this will also be his 9th outing as Sam Wilson.
Really?
Yeah. So Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Brave New World. And then Doomsday.
Shit.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, we kind of think of him as like this is somebody that came a little later, but it was still phase 2. Yeah. So.
Man, yeah, but again, no shock that Captain America's in this,
What?
I said no shock that Captain America is in this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Captain America, Sebastian Stan is in the movie.
Yeah, it was so funny, right? Because at this point I was thinking, okay, so, all right, we know that Bucky survives Thunderbolts. And I was like, you know what? I figured that he would survive. He's Buck. They can't get rid of him quite yet.
He's been through a lot.
He has been through a lot. I mean, look at him now. He's a politician and whatnot.
Doomsday will be his 11th appearance.
God damn.
Yep. Because he's going to be in Thunderbolts. And Doomsday, and then he was in. Can we say that yet? Can I spoil it now? Has it been long enough?
I think it's been long enough now.
Okay,
yeah.
he is in Brave New World.
Last time I hit you with the spoiler, I had to put that over you.
Yeah, just a little behind the scenes for you guys. In all the years I've been on this podcast, I've never spoiled anything, and then just like. The only real spoiler in Brave New World is the fact that Bucky is in it. And we're sitting there 10 minutes into the review. And I'm just like, yeah, man. So the conversation he has with Bucky, and I'm like, fuck. And it instantly fried my brain. I could have probably spun it otherwise. I could have been like, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, But no, I spoiled that shit. So he had to go and edit that out.
Yeah.
So.
That shit was funny.
What do you think Bucky's going to be doing by this point? Obviously, he's not going to be the leader of the Dark Avengers. I don't think he would agree to do that.
And even from watching the trailers, he seems more detached from everyone else.
He does.
Yeah.
He kind of seems like he might also be on a mission.
Yeah.
And they're all on a mission.
Right.
And it might be the same mission.
It could be that maybe through his political connects, he's the only person that knows who this Bob Reynolds guy is and what he's capable of. And trying to stop them from doing some dumb bullshit,
He's like, I better go with you guys. They can't kill me. The fucking Nazis couldn't kill me. I'm good.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what Bucky could be doing in this. I mean,
probably hanging out with Sam.
Yeah, for sure. I can see Sam asking for some backup. I think it's entirely possible that both Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, especially, end on some kind of crazy cliffhanger type thing.
Yeah.
That maybe calls directly for superhero attention, immediately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Letitia Wright is going to be in this. Not a shock that Black Panther is in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, not a shock there either. Nope.
She is the current Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. She gives it up, right?
No. She
still has it at the end of Wakanda Forever?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, for some reason I thought she gave it up.
Maybe it's because you wanted that.
No, I actually really like her.
Maybe it's because I wanted it.
Yeah, maybe you wanted it. Yeah, for some reason I thought she gave it, or was it that she didn't want to be the queen? She was going to stay as the Black Panther, but someone else was going to rule, and they heavily hinted that it was going to be like M'Baku.
Yeah,
and he is also in this. Spoilers.
He is.
Spoilers for later in this episode.
This just tells me that they're going to go to Wakanda.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which I can totally see. They can take elements from Doom War, the Doom War comic book, when Doom is invading Wakanda for vibranium. So I can totally see him going there for a resource that he needs. Maybe going to aboard the Celestial Baby Island for resources that he needs.
Or does he go to aborted Celestial Baby Island and then get a bunch of adamantium and then use it to invade Wakanda?
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Or, it could just be like Doctor Doom shows up and they're like, fuck, let's go to Wakanda, see what they got.
That too.
They got a giant shield.
Yeah.
That worked for us last time.
Right. Until they dropped it.
Yeah. yeah. Paul Rudd is going to be in this.
Okay, so Ant-Man's coming. How do you feel about Ant-Man returning?
Man, okay, so on the one hand, you know how I wanted Ant-Man 3 to go. I thought he should have died in that.
Yeah.
But he also, the man beat Kang the Conqueror with his bare fucking hands.
Imagine what he'll do to Dr. Doom.
Yeah, with the suit. Like if he had his suit on, what could he do? So, obviously he's like the strongest Avenger now.
For sure.
And
that's why there's no Carol Danvers,
Yeah, he's also a best-selling author.
The best-selling author, yep.
So, I mean,
what's it called? Don't Forget the Little Guys.
Yeah.
Which is an actual fucking book you can buy.
Yeah, Marvel actually put it out, like written from like his perspective.
Yeah. If I didn't have anything better to do, I would be halfway tempted to at least buy it so I can flip through it and be like, this is an actual thing.
Just put it on the shelf in here. Just shelf ornament.
That's right. So Ant-Man's here.
Wyatt Russell,
U.S. agent.
Honestly, I was really shocked by this one because we had basically given this man the black spot of death. Mm-hmm. And I'm still not convinced, right? Yeah. He could be in this as a flashback or something.
It could be a flashback. It could be a variant.
I'm still really just, I'm real convinced that he's going to die in Thunderbolts. Like, no one likes him. He has a kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested in this character, though. I kind of hope he doesn't bite it because I actually think he plays this character really well. If
nothing else, man, I really wish that Falcon and Winter Soldier had been better received because what Wyatt Russell did was great.
Yeah, because it's this... You have this guy who's, he's kind of a jock or whatever, mm-hmm. but he's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
And he's basically an American hero, whatever. And you put the weight of the shield on him.
Yep.
And he's expected to carry this mantle and so, he's got the people who are cheering him on. He's got the people who automatically hate him because he's not Steve Rogers. Mm-hmm. And then Steve Rogers' actual, friends and shit just ice him out.
Yep.
The Avengers are gone, and he's just a dude.
He's just a dude. And on top of that, one of the main reasons also why people didn't like him is because he was Captain America. He was what people in real life accuse Sam Wilson of being. That was him. He was just a government stooge.
Yeah.
And whether he wanted to admit to that or not, that's all he really was,
Yeah.
And he kind of had to live up to. How do you live up to being Steve Rogers when Steve Rogers would make those huge decisions and the most tense of moments, and then you have U.S. agent who's just doing what he's told to do.
Right, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of the antithesis of the whole Steve Rogers thing, where it's not a perfect soldier but a good man.
Yeah.
And it's he is the perfect soldier, mm-hmm. but he's just an okay guy.
Yeah.
And he cracks under that pressure.
That pressure gets to him real fast.
And once he takes that serum, I don't even think he's an okay guy.
Yep. And he, he tried to justify it, and I'm sure in real life a lot of people would.
Yeah.
Hell, how many athletes are in the juice? And they they justify it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be you got the weight of the world on you. Everybody's cheering you on or whatever, and you have the option to take this stuff that's gonna make you like the guy that they all say you can't live up to.
It's gonna even the playing field.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I think a lot of people would have done it.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. It's not necessarily his fault that serum that he took turns you into a fucking lunatic.
Right. And then he killed the guy for the world to see. That wasn't good.
With the shield.
With the shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, so Quick question: is Steve Rogers still alive?
Yeah, we don't know.
Okay,
we don't know. So since you asked that question, do you think that it's possible Chris Evans will be in this as like old man Cap?
He could be. There is a lot of old man Cap in the comic books, while Sam Wilson is Captain America. So they could go that route. But man, I'm not gonna lie. I would laugh at it from the moment he steps on screen to the moment he's gone, because it would just be hilarious to me.
Up next, I know you were glad to see this. Namor will be in the movie.
I fucking hate you.
What?
I mean, I'm not crazy about Namor in the MCU.
Oh, okay. Just the MCU. I was like, you literally. I wasn't even trolling you. Like, you actually do really like Namor.
I do really,
but you just don't like the way he was. So let me ask you, like, could we get a Thor scenario here where kind of like, we didn't really like how he was in Ragnarok, and then we loved him in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. Is it salvageable for you for them to like treat, for them to do a good treatment of Namor here?
I think it is. To a degree, to a lesser degree, it's going to be a lot like going from Iron Man 3 to Age of Ultron, where we're going to have to retcon and maybe ignore some shit.
Yeah.
But I really think that it's possible.
Well, they have a truce, right, at the end of Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
So would you want to see the, like, Atlanteans or whatever they're calling whatever they're called living like alongside the Wakandans?
I mean, we don't need all that,
Okay, just
there should definitely still be static between Wakanda and Atlantis, or whatever they call their home place in the movie.
Yeah.
But man, I just need more of that quiet, arrogant confidence.
Yeah.
Whereas here they worked really hard to make him like a sympathetic villain, instead of having him be this arrogant kind of brash, this is mine because I say it's mine.
Yeah.
Because I rule all of this. I think if they lean more into that, and then also the other interesting thing that I don't know how many people have thought about yet, we're getting Namor in the movie with Doctor Doom and Sue Storm.
Yep.
So we don't know if Sue is going to be thirsted after by Doom and Namor and her husband,
You're right.
Yeah, but it's entirely possible.
I think out of everybody in this movie that I'd want to see go one-on-one with Doctor Doom, like, they'd have like their own, like, this is like the early in the movie fight where like Doom's going to go one-on-one with somebody. This is going to be the first person to test him, but Doom's still going to fuck him up. Mm-hmm. I want it to be Namor.
That would be cool.
I would love that.
Also, and I don't know if anyone told like the costume director in Black Panther 2, but he has like a really newer, cool outfit that isn't the green booty shorts.
That isn't Peter Pan Lost Boys.
Yeah. I remember, when it was Kevin and I who reviewed that one together, and I remember saying to Kevin, I said, "You know why he's so angry? It's because he's been wearing the same pair of drawers since he was a kid."
It's like seaweed or whatever. It just grows with you,
It's got an itch, though.
Oh, man, he lives underwater. It's fine. It's like a bath all the time.
Yeah. But no, it is going to be interesting that Namor is in here, and you kind of wonder, are we just going to be globetrotting, or like are all of them going to convene somewhere?
We're going to be multiverse trotting.
Oh, shit.
They're going to have like a Council of Ricks. There's like a Council of Superheroes or whatever.
Oh, wow.
They got a Citadel.
Oh, no.
They're going to call it that and not the Watchtower.
God damn.
The Thing will be in the movie. Not a shock.
Yeah, not a shock here. I think that maybe this is the one-on-one fight also that I wouldn't mind seeing between Doom and Ben Grimm.
It's also interesting too, and I think at the end we'll kind of talk a little bit more about like who's not on the list, but there's no Hulk.
There's no Hulk. That is a shock and surprise.
Yeah, I'm interested to know a little more about that.
It's probably the simple fact of we fucked them up and we don't know what else to do with them.
Yeah, I mean they did fuck them up. It is their thing. I mean, do you have them sit on the sidelines until you can bring a like maestro in?
Oh man,
like I don't know, you know.
And like are the rights with the Hulk still weird and wonky?
They can use the Hulk all they want. They just can't put him in a solo movie,
which is so weird.
They just can't make the Hulk, but they could make like I don't know. This is just for instance. They could make like a Captain America movie that was just like a Hulk sequel. Not that they do that, but like they could.
They could.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This one was very well received. We're gonna get Shang-Chi back in the MCU finally.
It feels like forever since we've seen him.
Yeah, it was what 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
He's just been him and Abomination just been fighting it out in the underground fighting rings.
Yeah, well, shit. I guess it depends on how much of She-Hulk actually happened, right?
It's just all a fever dream.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Except for the Matt Murdock Walk of Shame, that definitely happened.
Matt has not addressed that. I almost wish that Matt didn't have the yellow cowl that we see, so that I could just completely pretend it never happened.
Listen, man, there is nothing more Matt Murdock than meeting a giant Hulk monster and fucking it.
It was certainly a challenge for him that he willingly accepted. Yeah, for sure.
He was like, "Oh, I'm a really good lawyer.
I'm a really good lawyer."
Yeah. You stand no chance. Oh, but you excited to see Shang-Chi back here in this movie?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's gonna be interesting seeing like him do his cool kung fu shit. Like, has he gotten any better with those 10 rings? I'm always gonna use quotation marks. And just seeing like what the fuck he's been up to, because again, at the end of his movie, you know, the post-credit scene really made it seem like we were gonna get something big with the 10 rings, like their origin, and it's just been filed underneath TBD.
Yeah, so him, Wong, Carol, and Bruce have all been trying to figure out what the fuck's up with the 10 rings. Yeah, this whole time.
The whole time. I'm assuming that they are some sort of multiversal weapon of sorts. You know,
that would be my thought, is that they're from a different universe, whatever.
Also, another quick side note here: as we've been going through all of these different people and whatnot, you know, we've all been kind of like envisioning who's gonna run the 1v1 with Doom. We have to also think who else is gonna be in this movie for all of these heroes to fight. Like, is it really just going to be Doom and a bunch of Doom bots, or will there be other actual villains?
I feel like they can't go Doom and a bunch of Doom bots. Like, I kind of feel like they did that already. Right?
Yeah, but they're like, that's been 10 years. So.
It'll be fine. Yeah. Black Widow is going to be in it. Florence Pugh's version.
Good old Yelena.
Yelena is awesome. Glad to see her back here.
Yep.
She may be leading the Dark Avengers.
It's possible. That is very much possible.
This is where I started to like lose my shit. Kelsey Grammer will be in the movie reprising his role as Beast. This might be my favorite on here. I love his incarnation of Beast. I actually think I like it even better than the 97. I just love the way he plays him. Yeah. And Beast is CGI, so, you know, Kelsey Grammer can play him till he's fucking 90.
He can. He most definitely can. What if Beast is... I'm going to throw this theory out here now before I hear anyone else say it. What if Beast is a red herring in this movie? Beast spends a large portion of, like, the more recent X-Men comic books being evil. And a lot of it, like, he was subterfuge, you know, like, people didn't really know. He was doing some weird and wild fucking experiments in the name of good, but those shits were fucked up. And, I mean, so there's been like an evil Beast running around. What if he's working with Doom?
That doesn't bode well for
Monica.
For Monica
at all. Yeah.
Considering that she's like in his lab.
It also doesn't bode well that she's not in the movie.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Yeah, she could be in the like as of yet announced.
Yeah.
For sure. So
yeah, she could be. I mean, especially like if this is the same beast from that same universe and that same post-credit scene from the Marvels, I would expect to see Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, me too. Lewis Pullman is in the movie. I had to look up who the fuck this is, but this is Bob.
Sentry, yeah. Bob.
Yeah, this is the Sentry. Now, this kind of hints at he could be the like part of the bad with Doom. That certainly would level the playing field. But you know, also on the other hand, we talked about how like the Dark Avengers or whatever doesn't have like everybody they got is just like a person. They might be an enhanced person, but they're just a person that shoots guns or does karate or whatever.
Yeah.
But like if the Sentry joins the team, that definitely changes that. They got a Superman now.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's going to be the wild card, man. You know, I've always said this, and I'll say it again here. Like, the reason why you don't see Sentry more in the comic books is because they don't know what to do with him. You know?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you do with him? But it seems that Marvel has a pretty good grasp of what they want to do with this character. And the Sentry's just so goddamn powerful and equally unhinged that they're really going to have to try to appeal to the man, Robert Reynolds. We haven't heard them say anything about the Void yet, I don't think.
Nope.
But they'll probably just wait till Thunderbolts to reveal that.
Doom's just going to 1v1 him in the first, like, 20 seconds of the movie.
Absolutely. I will tell you this. After Doom kills Loki and, like, usurps that power, I can see it happening then.
Yeah, yeah.
The first 20 seconds. Look, I love Doom.
Yeah.
That would be some bullshit.
Yeah, but Victor just at his base level is not up for that.
Yeah.
But I do think you're correct. I think he somehow gets into the TVA, gets Loki, and I mean, I don't know exactly what happens if you kill Loki and take his powers at this point in time, but I have a feeling that it gives you at minimum like the ability to just skip through the multiverse.
Yeah. At minimum. Yeah.
In the event, unless it just causes them all to start converging.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. I mean, that's kind of how it goes in the comics when Doom takes the power for the second. Yeah, Avengers, y'all know this shit happened twice with Doom, by the way.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's going to lead us into War World, probably.
Yeah, got to. Absolutely.
That's got to be how they are going to soft reboot everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Danny Ramirez, this is the new Falcon. Yeah. His third MCU outing. That's hard to believe. Right. We've been here for a minute. Right. No shock that he's in this. Joseph Quinn, once again, Human Torch, no shock.
Yep. I wish we had Iceman in this because I just really would love to see an interaction between the Torch and Iceman live action.
Right.
Make it happen.
I mean, if not now, we get it at some point.
Yeah.
They got to do a Avengers versus X-Men at some point in the future.
I definitely think so.
That's got to be like the next big movie after Secret Wars, right? Like the next Avengers.
I think so.
David Harbour will be back as Red Guardian.
As Red Guardian.
Not a shock. I feel like you got something to get off your chest there.
Listen, Sentry can't kill at least two of them in Thunderbolts.
I don't know, man. The way that he is in the Thunderbolts trailers, I kind of like. And I like David Harbour as an actor.
Me too.
But he was so obnoxious in Black Widow.
Yes.
He was awful.
Oh, yes. But, you know, it's because of, like, his like, attitude and, like, kind of reformed persona in the Thunderbolts trailer that makes me think, like, this would be a fitting end for him if he were to die in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
You know?
And once again, they could just be fucking with us.
They could be.
M'Baku will be returning. Winston Duke.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Absolutely. You know, M'Baku, he's one of those characters where it feels like he was supposed to be kind of maybe a one and done, but he was just so well received
Yeah.
You know?
He's fucking dope. I love him. I would have been fine with him getting the heart-shaped herb and becoming the new Black Panther. Like, I would have been cool with it.
Yeah, that would be... That should have been a What If episode.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because, like, he's just great, and Winston Duke just plays him so well.
He does.
Yeah, man, this is his 5th outing as M'Baku in Doomsday.
Because was he in Infinity War and Endgame?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and then both Black Panther movies, obviously.
Black Panthers, yeah.
So we have Ghost.
Yeah.
The lowest ranked villain in the entire MCU shall return for Doomsday. I will say that the Thunderbolts asterisk trailers make her seem pretty neat. We'll see.
I wonder if she'll have any lines of dialogue in Doomsday or Thunderbolts. the poor woman got nothing near in that man too.
No, it was like oh, fucking Morpheus was just her like manager or whatever. Tom Hiddleston returning as Loki. He has been in the game for minutes.
Bruh.
This is still only going to be his 8th outing. I guess technically 9th, but if you count Loki season 1 and 2.
Yep.
Because he was in all 4 of the Thor movies. Oh, actually, no. He was not in Love and Thunder. So he was in 3 of the Thor movies.
Oh, that's right.
And then he was in Avengers. I guess he's not in Age of Ultron, huh?
No.
So he was in 3 Avengers movies and 3 Thor movies, and then 2 seasons of Loki. So Doomsday would be his 9th appearance.
Wow.
This is where shit started to get crazy.
It started to feel like this was just some fan-made bullshit.
Yeah, like we were just being horribly trolled at this point. They rolled out the chair for Patrick Stewart.
Is that a pun?
Yes.
I can get that one.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, I mean, he was in Multiverse of Madness. That's not too insane.
You know, I saw someone say so they can bring him back to what? Die for a 5th time?
A 5th time in a similar way. No, but like, we got Patrick Stewart, and you're just like, okay, well, I mean, maybe him and Beast will come over. Like, Beast references the Professor in the Marvels after credits scene. Okay, cool. And then the next chair that they reveal is none other than Ian McKellen, who has to be like fucking 90 for real.
Yeah. I think Patrick Stewart is like legit, 86?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I'm like, I mean this with all the love and admiration and respect in the world. Film their scenes today.
Yeah. Get them filmed first.
Yeah.
Like Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart gotta bite it, right? Like, I mean, they can't go on to be in the X-Men I mean, maybe they can be in Secret Wars if they're filming these things back to back.
Yeah.
But shit, man, they can't.
They absolutely cannot.
They cannot be in like a 2031 X-Men film.
Yeah.
They're not going to be alive.
Yeah, this was, I did not see this coming. Like, I would have guessed Fassbender and James McAvoy before, you know, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
There has to be a reason they specifically went with these.
Yeah.
And then it just went on. Alan Cumming, who was, if you missed that, was Nightcrawler in X2.
Yeah.
Back in 2003.
Yeah.
Rebecca Romijn, who is who is
the good Mystique.
The good Mystique, the only Mystique we ever got.
James Marsden,
Cyclops. So I was like, okay, so we got like the whole 2000 team basically for the most part, and then they threw fucking Channing Tatum in here. You know, I was livid. I'm still mad.
Oh shit! But no, Caleb, you're not looking at this the right way. Think about it. If they're gonna kill Professor X and Magneto, they're probably gonna kill like
all of them.
Yeah.
You one could hope.
Goddamn. Which is probably why we don't get Wolverine in this one. Why, there's no Storm in this, which is interesting.
I mean,
yet
it's entirely possible, right, that like that multiverse that those X-Men are from, I could see Doom just like clipping it, like he destroys their fucking universe.
Yeah,
like
don't need no mutants.
Yeah. He's like, there's a lot of people there who could stop me.
He's like, which one of these has a Jean Grey and or a Scarlet Witch? Gotta go ahead and get rid of those.
Start pruning these off of the old Rolodex. Oh, this universe Scarlet Witch is dead already? Like, for real? Oh, sweet. I'm going to set up shop here.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that's fantastic. He's like, he's like, finds a computer, goes to Google, Dark Phoenix, enter. No results found. Yes.
Just get some obscure German rock album.
Yeah.
That'll work.
All right. And then the last two appearances here, I think these are basically going to be the main characters. Probably the two with the most screen time, if I had to guess. Pedro Pascal and Robert Downey Jr., obviously. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic and Robert Downey Jr. Playing Dr. Doom.
Yes. I am... Listen, so I've had my reservations about Pedro being cast as Mr. Fantastic, and I still do. We'll see how he does in First Steps, but I tell you this: when we see Pedro and RDJ on screen together, that chemistry, that shit needs to be. It needs to give me the same feeling I have when I see like Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio on screen together.
That's a tall order.
I'm aware, but it's Victor Von Doom and Mr. Fantastic.
The entirety, though, of Daredevil's existence as a show is built on the chemistry between the two of them. I definitely think it needs to be awesome. I just don't know that it's like the Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio, I would say, is like a 10. This has got to be like at least like an 8.59. I don't think it's quite as important because the entirety of what Daredevil is as a television show is literally on the backs of the two of them. As a matter of fact, Vincent D'Onofrio himself was like, he said he didn't know if the show was ever even going to work. And then I think it's like in the 4th episode when Charlie Cox is like, talks to him for the first time and he's on the walkie. When he's still got the old shitty suit or whatever.
Yeah.
And Vincent D'Onofrio is just like watching him record his scenes, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's perfect. This is actually going to work."
Yeah.
It's got to be close. I just don't know if like the entirety of the MCU rests on that chemistry in the way that.
Oh, I think the entirety of any movie with the two of them in it rests entirely on them.
I don't know, man. This is a big ass cast.
It's a huge cast, man. But there's a reason why certain rivalries just go on and just escalate over time, And Doom and Reed is one of them,
Oh, I agree. And I mean, also too though, if there's no Spider-Man in this, that's even more on it.
I think you can say Spider-Man for Secret Wars.
Because I don't like it.
I mean, because, like, I understand the importance of having Peter in this, especially with RDJ as Doom. But I do not think that the crutch of Doom should be, I look like your old mentor.
No. It's just, to me, that has to be a factor for Peter. And like I said, I'm going to let them cook.
Yeah.
But if Peter isn't in this to give that relationship more importance, then yeah, I'm with you. Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Doom, like Reed and Victor, they got to be two opposites of a coin.
Yeah.
And I do think that the two of them are going to kill it. Like, I don't think Pedro Pascal is my ideal casting for this character. Ironically enough, Fan Forstick actually did a fucking pretty good job of casting Reed Richards.
Yeah.
The movie just fucking terrible. Because what's that guy's name? He was in Top Gun.
Oh, not talking about Glenn Powell. That
no, it's not him. It's
Miles.
Yeah, Miles.
Van Forstig.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I actually thought that Miles Teller was like a tremendous casting.
Oh yeah,
for Reed.
Oh yeah.
But the movie was just terrible. But on the other hand, though, Pedro Pascal is an incredible actor. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's one of the most sought after actors in the world. And, like, obviously, because he's in so many things, that does give it the aspect of, like, oh, they just got him. Mm-hmm. But he's really fucking good, and that's why he's in so many things, you know?
I still think that is why they got him, is because he's so recognizable.
Yeah.
And that's not taking anything away from his immense talent.
Yeah, because
I'm with you on that.
His range is immense.
It is.
You know?
I mean, anyone who can play Oberyn and Joel is pretty has some pretty good range.
Not to mention the incredible weight of massive talent. His character in that he's like the exact opposite of Joel.
Yeah. I mean, to go so far as to even have him keep the mustache, I'm like, this is. Now y'all was just fucking with me.
Well, like he's trying to get that Viltrumite power, that Viltrumite strength.
He's trying to buy for Omni-Man right now.
Yeah. I'm for it.
Holy shit! Did we just stumble onto something?
Did we? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Is Omni-Man?
I kind of like it. I can totally see him being like, "Think, Mark, think."
Oh shit!
As he just like beats the bejesus out of Ellie.
Oh no!
Think, Ellie, think.
Ellie, think.
I think I'm in the wrong property. Oh man, this list. I mean, for them to say they're not done. All right. So first question: is there anybody that's not on the list that you think is in the movie and they just haven't said yet? Charlie Cox.
I am going to say yes. I think that I have a hard time believing that Strange isn't in this.
Yeah.
You know, like, you kind of want Doctor Strange for something like this.
Right. He's like one of the few, like, really, I mean, look at like our actual Avengers team, mm-hmm. right? And we got Doctor Strange, we got Spider-Man, even though nobody remembers who Peter Parker is. They remember who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
We got the Hulk. Yep. I mean, out of the people who are actually on the list, is it just Thor and Sam?
Yeah. Because Bucky was never officially on the team.
Yeah, nope. I mean, I guess Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man. We kind of threw him to the curb.
Yeah.
By the time Shuri became Black Panther, there really was no Avengers.
Do you think we get a Hawkeye cameo?
Oh man, I would like that. I'm gonna say no though. Yeah. Who else could we possibly get? I mean, I think we kind of named like the big ones who would be fun: Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Hulk,
Charlie Cox.
Yep, Daredevil,
Luke Cage.
I mean, hell, look, we got the Thunderbolts. Why not put the fucking Defenders in?
Yeah. I mean, if Red Guardian can be here, then Finn Jones can show up. He's at least useful.
Yeah, they can go fuck off and do something.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Is there anybody that you're really surprised to not see on the list?
I mean, honestly, besides those three, yeah, they're playing with a lot right now. I'm gonna throw out another wild card. It might be in Doomsday. It might stand a better chance of being in Secret Wars. They haven't said anything about this character yet, but the Beyonder's got to be out there somewhere.
Oh, yep. He's just waiting on Matt Murdock to have too good of a day. And then he's going to appear.
That's the catalyst.
Yeah. Let me say this. There's been a lot of speculation out there, and I think I kind of buy into this, that our main cast is going to get pulled to Warworld. Mm-hmm. And while they're gone, the Young Avengers are going to have a B plot.
That's actually fantastic.
Yeah. No, they're probably going to be. If I had to guess.
No, that's the part where you look at me and you go, say that again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fantastic. So I think that it's highly possible that we're going to get Kamala, that we're going to get Cade and all of them, and hopefully not fucking Love.
Oh, dear Lord, no.
And hopefully also not Hulk's fucking kid.
No, that's all part of the fever dream. Didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
But maybe Peter leads them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Patriot, Elijah Bradley's grandson, he was technically in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yep, that's true.
I'm a little surprised they haven't done anything with him yet, like not even a cameo in Falcon and Winter Soldier to set up for something.
Right, you'd think he would have maybe been at the trial or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Wild.
We see Kid Loki in season 1 of Loki.
Yeah.
But he's probably dead, I don't know what happened to that place.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that place got obliterated.
Obviously Speed and Wiccan.
Oh yeah, I mean we definitely at a bare minimum should get Wiccan.
Yeah.
So
they have the roster to pull something together.
Well, folks, I'm sure you're going to be very glad that we did not do this as a cold open for an hour.
Yeah. For those of you who would have wanted to hear us talk about Daredevil episodes 5 and 6 and clicked on this, you would be very upset at us right now.
Right.
Yeah. So, you guys should be grateful. Like, the committee reached out and they said, hey, guys, we know what you plan on doing. Make it 2 different episodes.
So,
yeah.
Here we are, man. Marvel just had to, this afternoon, as of recording, just drop, the massive info dump on us.
Massive. It took a massive shit on our plans.
But, man, I'm going to tell you right now, it's working. Like I said, the hype for the MCU is at a damn pitch right now. We are full tilt hype, so you just got to make that hype last a year or so. And hey, part of that is going to mean that Fantastic Four and Thunderbolt's got to be dope. So.
Yeah. To keep that momentum going and to keep that hype going, those 2 movies need to be amazing. So, we gonna see. Well, homies, that's going to be all for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this really cool, in-depth look at our casting so far for Avengers Doomsday. Looking forward to seeing how that progresses. That's going to be all for now. We'll see you guys again really soon. Really soon.
In the amount of time it takes to upload this shit.
Yep. But until then, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.